Why is it that some men spend their entire lives chasing money, yet die poor in spirit, empty in heart, and enslaved by what they pursued? And why do others, who treat money almost like a game, attract it almost effortlessly, as though wealth flows to them without resistance? This is one of the deepest paradoxes of our time. Men sacrifice their health, their freedom, even their souls in pursuit of money. But the men who seem most at peace with it, who understand its deeper nature, are the ones who wield it like a sword, not a chain. The forgotten truth is this: money is not paper. It is not coins. It is not numbers in a bank. Money is energy, a flow, a vibration, a mirror of the life force within you. And until you learn to master its flow, it will master you. For most of history, men have been told a lie about money. We are taught to see it as a thing outside of us, a material possession, a pile of coins, a stack of paper, or, in today's age, a number on a glowing screen. But the deeper truth, the one that ancient mystics, philosophers, and spiritual teachers understood, is that money has never been just currency. It is not the gold itself, nor the ink on the dollar bill. Those are symbols, containers, shadows of something far more primal. Money is energy, and energy, as Tesla himself declared, is the fabric of the universe. Everything you see, touch, and feel is vibration, sound, light, thought, even the beating of your heart. All are frequencies. So ask yourself, why would money be any different? When we look deeper, we find that money behaves exactly like energy. It flows, it circulates, it seeks channels, it resists stagnation. And here's the uncomfortable truth that few are willing to admit. If money isn't flowing to you, it is not because money is scarce. It's because your inner state is repelling it. This is the forgotten truth about wealth. Money is not earned by labor alone. It is attracted by alignment. Think of a magnet. The magnet does not chase iron filings. It does not beg. It does not hustle. It does not prove its worth. It simply is. And by the very force of its being, it pulls matter into its orbit. Now imagine yourself as that magnet. Your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions. These form your energetic field. When that field vibrates with scarcity, resentment, or desperation, money senses it and stays away. But when your field vibrates with clarity, gratitude, vision, and purpose, money moves toward you, almost as if by law. This is why two men, given the same opportunities, can produce radically different results. One man hustles endlessly, trades his hours for dollars, and remains trapped in survival. Another man, with fewer hours and seemingly less effort, multiplies wealth. Why? Because the second man understands the current. He aligns with money as energy, while the first man chases the shadow instead of the source. Ancient wisdom confirms this. The Vedic sages spoke of Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity, who only blesses those who hold the right inner state, a balance of discipline, vision, and devotion. The Taoists taught that wealth, like water, flows to the lowest and most open channels. Even Christ's parables reveal that money expands in the hands of those who steward it with faith, while it disappears from those who bury it in fear. Modern psychology echoes the same law. Men who carry deep shame about money, who unconsciously believe they are unworthy of abundance, sabotage themselves. They reject opportunities, undercharge their value, or overspend to fill an inner void. It is not their outer world that is broken. It is the energetic imprint within them. Here lies the forgotten truth. Money has no loyalty to those who chase it. Money is loyal to those who embody its flow, and until a man learns this, he will remain enslaved. He will treat money as a master instead of as an ally. He will grind, but never grow. He will confuse survival with prosperity. But the moment he shifts his relationship with money from fear to flow, from scarcity to energy, everything changes. Money begins to appear in places it never did before. Opportunities, synchronicities, unexpected allies. What once felt like impossible barriers begin to open like doors. Because money was never against him. It was waiting for him to remember that wealth is not outside. Wealth begins inside. Every man has a relationship with money, but most don't realize it's a mirror of his inner state. There are archetypes, patterns that repeat across generations. The slave, the man trapped in survival. He works for every dollar, chained to his paycheck, terrified of losing it. His energy is fear, and so money slips from him as quickly as he grasps it. The warrior, the man who fights for money. He hustles, battles, conquers. He builds, but often burns himself out. He sees money as an enemy to be subdued, rather than an ally to be befriended. The king, the man who rules money, not ruled by it. He understands money as energy, a servant of his vision. He doesn't chase it. He commands its flow through wisdom, purpose, and alignment. Which of these archetypes you embody determines whether money is your prison, your battleground, or your kingdom. Here's the truth that pierces the psyche. If you are not conscious of your relationship with money, you will unconsciously repeat patterns that keep you enslaved. And for many men, that slavery is invisible, hidden beneath the illusion of working hard or providing. But deep down, you know whether you're sovereign or enslaved. If money is energy, then it obeys the same laws as all energy. There are 3 you must master. 1. The law of flow. Money must move. Just as rivers create life when they flow, money creates wealth when it circulates. Hoard it in fear, and it stagnates. Invest, give, exchange, and it grows. This is why generosity attracts prosperity, not because of some mystical charity, but because energy must circulate. If you become a dam, you block the current. If you become a channel, wealth flows through you. 2. The law of amplification. Money magnifies who you already are. A poor man with bad habits who suddenly becomes rich becomes enslaved to vice. A disciplined man who gains wealth multiplies his impact, his freedom, his legacy. This is why some men destroy themselves with fortune, while others rise into kingship. Money reveals and amplifies your inner alignment. 3. The law of reciprocity. What you send out returns. Ancient wisdom calls it karma. Modern psychology calls it reciprocity. Give value, circulate money with intention, and the universe, or the marketplace, returns it multiplied. Withhold, operate from greed or fear, and the flow recoils from you. Master these 3 laws, and money ceases to be chaos. It becomes a current you can ride, rather than waves that drown you. But let us not romanticize. Every man must face the shadow of money. Greed, fear, hoarding, addiction. These are the dark archetypes of wealth. The miser who clings so tightly he suffocates. The conqueror who wins empires but loses his soul. The addict who uses money as a drug to escape meaninglessness. Even kings fall if they deny the shadow. The lesson is not to reject money, nor to worship it, but to integrate its shadow. To recognize that money is neutral. It is your energy, your vibration, your psychology that makes it curse or blessing. This is why some of the richest men in the world are miserable. They mastered the mechanics, but ignored the metaphysics. They built empires of sand. How then do you, a modern man, align with the metaphysical truth of money? Not in theory, but in practice? Here are 3 daily codex rituals. 1. Intentional spending ritual. Before you spend, pause. Ask, what energy am I sending with this? Spend with gratitude, with purpose. This transforms every purchase into a conscious circulation of energy, not mindless leakage. 2. Gratitude invocation. Each night, write down 3 ways money served you today. Not just what you bought, but the freedom, the time saved, the connections it created. Gratitude aligns your vibration with abundance. 3. Sacred circulation. Commit a percentage of income to circulate back, whether through giving, investing, or supporting causes that align with your values. Treat it as a tithe to the flow of life itself. These are not superstitions. They are practices that shift your inner energy. And because money reflects energy, your outer wealth begins to transform. Here is the truth few men face. Money can be regained. Time cannot. The ancients warned of this. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote that men guard their wealth but squander their time, the one currency that cannot be earned back. When you see money as energy, you realize it is ultimately a tool to free your time, not consume it, to buy back your life force, your presence, your legacy. The man who dies with millions but no time is the poorest man of all. Money is not evil, nor is it divine. It is energy, pure, neutral, waiting to be directed. If you align with its laws, if you respect its flow, if you master your inner state, money becomes your servant, amplifying your freedom and your purpose. But if you ignore this truth, money becomes your master, amplifying your fear, your shadow, your enslavement. The choice is yours. Remember this. You are not chasing money. You are shaping energy, and the man who masters energy masters prosperity. If this truth resonated with you, subscribe, because here, in the Prosperity Codex, we unlock not just wealth, but the forgotten wisdom of how to wield it with power, purpose, and soul.